Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session for the 2025 CLIA Global Cruise Line webinar series. We're thrilled to be joining you today with an exciting and informative session featuring Costa. My name is Johanna de Guzman, and I'm the Manager of Industry Relations for North American Travel Trade Membership here at CLIA. Before we dive into today's presentation, I'll quickly go over a few housekeeping items. Our presentation will run for about 60 minutes. We encourage you to engage actively by submitting your questions through the webinar's questions module, and we will send them to the Costa team, and they will reach out to you at the conclusion of the presentation. For those who might miss today's live session or want to review the content later, this webinar is being recorded and will be available on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. It is my pleasure to introduce your presenter, LaDonna Allen. LaDonna is a seasoned travel industry professional with over 35 years of experience, recently appointed as the head of sales for North America at Costa. Her dynamic career spans roles from travel advisor to senior sales executive, showcasing her deep understanding of cruise and travel landscape. LaDonna is enthusiastic about collaborating with travel partners to introduce more North American travelers to Costa's unique blend of Italian style and hospitality. And with that, take it away, LaDonna.
Awesome. Thank you. That was a great introduction. Thank you guys for taking some time out of your day to join me. I really do appreciate the support that we have with Costa in the North American market. I will be honest that we haven't been super visible in the North American market, and our goal here with the Costa North America team is really to change that. And so, what we want to do is we want to kind of take you on a journey today. Our new tagline, and you're going to see it a couple of times today, is the best of Italy. And really, what we want to do is we want to kind of reinforce number one, our commitment to you, the travel advisor. In the North American market, we do have a website and you could buy a cruise direct from us, but our strategy is trade first. And we don't really have a direct strategy here in the US. So we are not going to be reaching out to your customers, trying to poach your customers. In fact, what you're going to find whenever we kind of go over the fares is we're really trying to drive the customer to you because at the end of the day, it's expensive to stand up a call center in the US. And our best opportunity in the US market is to partner with you so that you can find your best customers. But in order to do that, you and I need to have this open dialogue and we need to understand who is the best customer that I'm going to put on Costa Cruises. So, if you're not familiar with Costa, we are part of Carnival Corporation. So, we have always been part of Carnival Corporation. We joined the corporation many years ago. So, we're part of that overall portfolio. And if you're looking at me and you say, I think I recognize that girl, it's because I came from Princess. So, I was at Princess for 10 years and have moved over to another brand within the Carnival Corporation family of brands. And if you look at us within the corporation, we kind of have our own swim lane. Maybe a little bit more murky between Princess and Holland America, but for the rest of us, we all kind of have our own swim lane, right? You've got Seabourn, that's luxury with the small ships. You've got Cunard, who is luxury with the large ships. You have Princess and Holland America in the premium space. You have Carnival in the contemporary space. And then you have the three brands that are not North American based. You've got AIDA that operates in Germany. You've got Costa, who is headquartered in Italy, and P&O, who is headquartered in the UK. So each one of us kind of has our own DNA. We're a little bit different, but what this gives us is it gives us an opportunity to really come together as a family of brands. And one of the best ways that you'll see this is you may know that Carnival is currently operating two Costa ships, our two newest ships, the Venezia and her sister ship. And really, what happened with that, to give you guys a little bit of background, is we built those two ships. They were ordered before the pandemic, they were delivered right after the pandemic. We built them for the Asia market. So they were built to be in China. And obviously, following the pandemic, we did not go back to China right away. None of the brands did. And so with Costa, because our primary market is in Italy, our secondary market is Brazil, and then North America is our third source market. We were going to open up this new market in China. And so we built these two ships for the Chinese market. And then following the pandemic, because we had not really restarted the North American market yet, we just didn't have enough demand in order to be able to fill those two new ships. They were in the Mediterranean, where we are year round, and we just didn't have enough. We had more capacity than what we could fill. What what Carnival had coming out of these North American ports is Carnival had more passengers than she had capacity. So, being part of this global brand, we were able to shift two of those ships over to Carnival. And what it did was it gave Carnival the additional capacity to sell, and it gave us the opportunity to really kind of get our feet up underneath us and get restarted in the North American market as well, because we really, in North America, although we are the smallest market for Costa, we are the richest market for Costa. So we bring a richer customer to Costa than some of these other markets do. So it is a very important market for Costa. In terms of CLIA, we have a very close relationship with CLIA. Costa North America is managed by Dario Rustico, who is our general manager for the Americas. He is also currently the president of CLIA Brazil. So we do have a very, very close relationship with these trade organizations in the US, and you will see us at Cruise 360. So, as I mentioned, I recently took over as the head of sales here at Costa, and our goal really is to support you, the travel advisor community. And in order to do that, you will absolutely see us at these industry events. And currently, we are not part of any consortia. So if you're looking for us within your consortia, we are currently not part of any consortia. We're really trying to work directly with our key partnerships that we have here in the North American market, and you'll see a little bit more about that upcoming. So, who is Costa? For 75 years, we have been taking guests to over 200 different destinations. We've got 9 ships in service, and that takes into account the 2 ships that Carnival is currently operating. So, operating under the Costa flag currently, we have 9 ships in the fleet. And some of the distinctive traits that you find with Costa is it's a very international experience. And what we do is you will, and this is something that you absolutely want to train your customers to be prepared for. They will hear multiple languages on board. This is always going to be the case with Costa because we are a very international brand. We've got a lot of different nationalities that are on board. But what we do is prior to each one of the voyages, we take a look at the source markets and we take a look at the languages that we're going to have on board, and we prioritize those languages. So as our penetration from the North America market gets higher, while English is always going to be spoken, you'll see it kind of move up in the hierarchy depending on how many people from North America or English speakers in general are on board. So that is something to kind of pay attention to, depending on where this voyage is sailing and what the source market is. For instance, in South America, most of the source market for that is coming from Brazil. So rather than having Italian spoken first, you will hear Portuguese first. You'll still hear Italian and you'll still hear English, but we will kind of change the hierarchy of which languages that we are speaking. So we want to make sure that we really lean into this warm Italian hospitality. We're very involved in making sure that we are on the cutting edge in terms of innovation. From a diversity perspective, we're a multicultural organization, and so diversity is a very important piece of this for us. And I'll talk a little bit about our responsibility and our commitment to sustainability. I wanted to show you this video really quickly because I think number one, it's beautiful. And number two, I think that it also kind of gives you an over idea of who Costa is. There we go. I know that buffered a little bit there. Sorry about that. But I did want to show it to you because it is a truly magical video, and I think it gives you a really great idea of who Costa is. One of the other really important things that you are going to find about Costa is sustainability is a very, very important piece of what we do here at Costa. And we lean into this in several different ways. Carnival Corporation is really moving towards climate neutrality as a overall corporation. Very specifically, we were the first brand within Carnival Corporation to have LNG powered ships. So LNG is liquefied natural gas, and it is a cleaner technology, and it burns cleaner, especially whenever we're in port. And so that's something that's very important to us, is to be good stewards of the environment. In terms of what we have on board, we were the first of all of the brands to have biodigesters on board. So a lot of the other brands within the family now have biodigesters as well. But these are some of the things that Costa really was at the forefront of. We also really want to make sure that we're raising awareness among our guests about sustainability issues. So you will find that on board, sometimes we will have more paper than what we would like to have on board, simply because we are trying to accommodate so many different languages. But we really have a goal to reduce paper and waste on board the ships. And we really do talk about that because overall, we want to build a truly transformative ecosystem that really leans into the idea of sustainability. The oceans are our home. And we want to make sure that we are good stewards of our home and that we're taking care of our home. Like I mentioned, these two ships are powered by LNG, liquefied natural gas. They are our flagships, and they are also in the Mediterranean. So we'll talk a little bit more about the Toscana and the Smeralda, because these two ships are primarily what you're going to be putting your customers on. We do have a really great foundation that does quite a few different things, whether it's involving students. We also have a program where we donate unserved food at the end of the day, whatever port we're in. We donate that unserved food to the local communities. So we want to be good stewards of the oceans. And we want to be good community members as well. We want to take care of the communities that we visit. So let's talk about what a Costa cruise looks like on board. There are some things that are very different about Costa, and I want to make sure that you guys kind of understand what differentiates us. I was a travel agent for 18 years, so I know we have this much space to remember all of these things about this many cruise lines, right? So we want to make sure that we really, for you, point out what are the differentiating features. If it's something that, you pretty much find on every cruise line, I'll just kind of point out that we have it like sport and wellness. It is a focus for us, but everybody has a gym on board. So I'm really going to kind of focus on what are the differentiating features. And for us, one of those is the sea land experience. And I'll talk a little bit about the sea destinations as we kind of go through some of the itineraries. But what sea destinations is it's kind of this nuanced approach to itinerary building. So when we are looking at our deployment and we are building our itineraries and our onboard programming, we're really wanting to lean into being part of that destination. So for Costa, everything is a very immersive journey. It's about feeling, and touching the destination both on board the ship as well as on land. And with these sea destinations, we have created unique opportunities for you to experience the destination that you're in from the vantage point of the sea. If you think about it, oftentimes we have this kind of thought process that the ship is there to transport us from one port of call to the next port of call. But there are things that are very unique that you can only see from the vantage point of the ocean. And Costa has taken this to the next step to really kind of integrate that. We don't want you to feel like you are in Europe whenever you open up the blinds on your stateroom. We want you to be immersed in the destination on board the ship as well as whenever you're on land. And in terms of food, we do have a specialty restaurant with these Michelin starred chefs, but we also have this authentic Italian cuisine that you're going to find throughout all of the venues on board. So regardless of where you are, where you're sailing in the world, you're going to have that authentic Italian cuisine. You are also going to have, and I'm talking like burrata made fresh on board. So it's amazing that we are able to create all of these amazing, authentic Italian dishes on board. And so that's a very big piece of what we do. But also, again, we want you to be immersed in the destination. So if, for instance, you're going to be in Marseille on Wednesday, on Tuesday, you are going to see French food on the menu as well, because we want to give you a highlight into the destination that you're going to be visiting the next day. Onboard entertainment, I want you to think about the fact you're not going to have like the Broadway type shows that are on board the ship. These are going to be more musical numbers, things of that nature. And if you think about it, it's one of those where you've got so many different languages on board that it would be difficult to have a show where they're speaking in one language or another. So a lot of these are going to be very musically themed. You also have the kids club. This is a very multi-generational cruise, and you have kids activities on board each one of the ships as well. I talked about sport and wellness. This is something that is very important to Costa. So you're going to have really great spas that are on board. And of course, all of the programming in terms of like with the sea destination, we have a wellness component to that in Northern Europe where we have meditation out on deck. And so those are some of the ways that we really kind of try to integrate sport and wellness, not into just your gym experience or just your spa experience, but into the overall experience on board. Who is Costa best for? We do have older couples on board. If you think about it, for everything, we don't have any voyages that start from North America currently. Maybe watch this space, maybe something to come in the future. But currently, we don't have any that leave from North American shores. So that means that you're going to have to get on a plane to go to any Costa ship. Therefore, typically from the North American market, what we do see some honeymooners that are on board that are really looking for that immersive experience in Europe. If you think about our younger generations, they like truly authentic travel styles, and this fits very well with the young people. With the silver couple, they're typically on some of these longer voyages. And again, for us, you're going to have to take a flight to get anywhere, so they typically have the time. We also have a lot of families on board. We've got a lot of multi generations on board. In terms of demographics, we're really going to cross all of those various demographics. It's really more about the psychographics of what your customer is looking for. Are they looking for a tactile, unique Italian experience? This is the overall fleet. I'm not going to go into all of the ships, but I will highlight some of the ships. In terms of where we sail, we do have a deployment. We're year round in the Mediterranean. We've got a deployment to the Caribbean. We've got a pretty decent sized deployment down to South America. And because South America is our number 2 source market, those are some really interesting itineraries. We don't have time to go too deep into South America today, but kind of keep your eyes on those itineraries because those are up and coming. And if you've got people who are looking to do something different in South America, this may be a really great opportunity for you. In the West Med, we have the Toscana, the Smeralda, and the Pacifica. And to those sea destinations, this is just a highlight. You'll have multiple sea destinations on board, but to give you just a touch, a taste of what these look like, in Capri Bay, you have a caprese breakfast where you are overlooking the view of the Ferragoloni at dawn. You have Neapolitan coffee that is served fresh on board, a giant caprese cake. And you're doing all of this kind of overlooking the landscape of Capri. So this is a morning adventure. And we've got several that are timed either, when we're pulling into port or also whenever we're leaving port. And so for this particular one, you have breakfast at sunrise in front of Capri Island. Amazing hot coffee served, this Neapolitan coffee that's served in the mocha pots, and the traditional caprese cake. And here's a quick video to show you what that is like. I'm not sure I can think of a better way to start the day. And so some of the ships that we do have the Toscana that is in the West Med. Here on a highlight of some of these itineraries, you're going to be going into Ibiza, Palermo, Barcelona. One of the really nice things about this is that you will have an opportunity to embark in multiple different embarkation ports. So for us, because we are flagged under the Italian flag, we're flagged out of Genoa, Italy, and we're part of the EU, you are able to embark and disembark in multiple different ports. And what that means is you don't have a true chaotic turnaround day, especially in the Mediterranean. What you have is you have some people who are kind of coming on and leaving every day. So you don't have that huge turnover. You also have the opportunity, like for instance, this year is the Jubilee year in Rome. So for those voyages on some of the other brands where your only option is to go round trip Civitavecchia, the flights into Rome, number one, they're going to be super full. Number two, they're going to be very expensive because the entire year of 2025 is the Jubilee year. Rome is going to be very, very busy. But maybe in my particular case, I've been to Rome quite a few times, but I still want to have the opportunity to visit Rome during Jubilee, but I don't really want to fly into Rome. I can do the West Med round trip Savona or round trip Barcelona. I can do it out of one of these other ports that I have the opportunity to get less expensive, more available air. Also, I have the opportunity to experience a different pre or post cruise package. And so, those are things that you should really kind of take into consideration from an itinerary planning perspective whenever you're looking at what is your best option in the West Med for your customers. Here, I've put up round trip Savona, selfishly because this is the one that I'm looking at doing this year. So if I look at this itinerary and I take a deep dive into this itinerary, I could have done it round trip Marseille. Marseille is also really popular. I could have done it round trip Barcelona. So you have different options. Palermo, there's some really great nonstops out of JFK into Palermo on Neos Air. We've got a very close partnership with them. So take a look at Palermo. Palermo is yet another place where you could go round trip. Now, where you see the little anchors on here, those are the sea destinations, and you have a description of that, what time it happens, and what your overall experience is going to be. But as you can see as a snapshot from this itinerary, you are going to have multiple opportunities to experience the sea destinations on every single itinerary. And one of the ships that is sailing this itinerary is the Costa Toscana. So remember, I said Toscana and Smeralda, those are the largest of our ships. They're about 5,000, 5,500 passengers. And these are our two newest ships that are currently in the fleet. They are very similar. So I'm only going to take you in depth into the Toscana. But if we look at her, she's a large ship. She's got a lot of different entertainment venues. She's got a lot of different themed bars. But again, we're an Italian cruise line. So when you think about these themed bars, we're going to have a Campari bar. We have an Aperol bar. We have a Heineken club that's on board. And one of my favorites, and you'll have to check this out whenever you go on board, is the Nutella bar as well. So things that are a little bit different. In terms of entertainment, you've got two very high tech theaters. You do have a casino on board all the ships, and you do also have a very nice spa that is on board. This is what the staterooms look like. Now, the one that's here on the right, that sea terrace, this may look a little bit familiar to you if you've looked at the Sun Princess or the Star Princess. These are like those cabana suites. So what you're looking at in this picture is you're looking at the cabana piece that is leading out into your true oceanfront balcony. So you have a balcony stateroom, then you have the cabana, and then you have the actual balcony that has the doors that open up all the way that lead out into your overlook of the water. Of course, you've got suites on board, you've got balconies on board. I just wanted you to have an idea of what those look like. We also have interior and we have ocean view, or as we call them, sea view. In terms of some of the restaurants that we have on board, you've got a lot of opportunities. Archipelago, that is our specialty dining that you have an opportunity to experience on board. We've got some really great bars, whether it's the Aperol, which as you can see, it's very much themed towards Aperol, and the Heineken Club. We've also got some bars that are some various places around the ship that have those really great overlooks like the Sunset Bar. In terms of pools, we've got quite a few pools that are on board. You also have the opportunity to have the Skywalk walkway as well. So you've got kind of that health and wellness that is also integrated here. You can walk around the Skywalk walkway. You can take the kids to the water park. You have different options in terms of whether they have a retractable roof or they have an indoor pool or outdoor pools. These are just some other pictures from around the ship, the Coliseo and the Arena Theater, as well as the Galleria shops. More of the pools and the spa. So the spa and the sauna, these are a very big focus for us. I think you're going to love them. They definitely take that spa experience up a level. So if you have people who are interested in spa, this is a really great opportunity for them. The Costa Smeralda, she is very similar. She does, I'm going to point out a couple of her itineraries, and one of those is an 8-day trip, France, Spain, and Italy. And let's take a look into what that looks like. This one I have done round trip Genoa, but again, you could do it Marseille, you could do it Barcelona, and you could also do it Rome. I don't know that I necessarily recommend it in the Jubilee year, but it is an option. If we look at some of the sea destinations, you've got the Balearic Sea, which is where we do stargazing. You can go out and the captain will narrate. And again, it's about experiencing the destination. Where are you in the world at that moment? And how can you experience your world at that moment from the unique vantage point of the sea? And in this particular case, we're going to be looking at the constellations, and the captain is going to narrate that for us. You also have the Bay of Capri experience and the Cetacean Sanctuary as well. That one is a light show, very, very family friendly. One of the other ships that we have is the Costa Pacifica. I'm going to go a little bit more of a deep dive into the Costa Pacifica so that you can see kind of what some of the differences are. Again, this round trip is out of Savona, and you can see it has some interesting itineraries. So one of the things that Costa does, we stay in port longer. And you're going to find that, like, for instance, in Mykonos, whenever you're in Mykonos, there's a really great party that happens in Mykonos overlooking the island of Mykonos at sunset. And so there's some really great opportunities to experience these destinations for a long period of time, and also in a very immersive way as well. So for the Costa Pacifica, since she is a different class of ship, I wanted to give you kind of a deep dive into her. She was refurbished in 2022. She has a little over 3,000 passengers, so she's a little bit smaller. Again, very heavy in balcony cabins. You're going to find that all of our ships are very heavy in balcony cabins. And this is what she looks like on board. She is smaller, so you only have 4 of the themed bars on board here. You've got the Aperol bar, the Sunset bar, the Gelateria, and the wine bar as well. And in the evening, she has just one theater. She does still have a casino. That's always going to be a staple on board each one of the ships. And again, she's got a fairly sizable spa for the size of the ship. The spa here is a 2-deck spa, really, truly a beautiful spa. And we also have a sea view gym here as well. This is just a quick view to show you what the staterooms on board look like. We've got a balcony and we've got a suite here. Again, you've got Archipelago, the Gelateria. This is the theater and also the disco as well. And the spa. I just love the spa. In the Eastern Mediterranean, we have the Costa Deliciosa, which is doing the Greek islands. She's also doing some Greece and Croatia itineraries. We also have the Fascinosa, and we have the Fortuna, who will be sailing in 2025 into the Eastern Mediterranean. So let's take a look at some of these itineraries. The first itinerary we're going to look at on Deliciosa is going round trip out of Venice, and you will see that this does visit Mykonos so that you have an opportunity to do the Mykonos Sea Party. You also have the Sea of Stars in the Ionian Sea, and you have Dolce Vita in Venice as well. Looking at the second itinerary on the Deliciosa, This one again is going round trip out of Venice, but it goes to Dubrovnik as well as several different visits in Greece and Split in Croatia as well. This is a great itinerary. I love this itinerary. The Fashionosa, here's one of her itineraries. Again, she's going out of some place that's a little bit different. She's going out of a port that not everybody is able to disembark or embark from. And we go to some of the lesser visited ports in Greece, as well as Catania. The Fortuna, on the Fortuna, you'll get an opportunity to go to 4 of the Greek islands in just 8 days. Again, these are very, very port intensive itineraries, and this is what her itinerary looks like. This one is round trip out of Athens, and then you're going through the Strait of the Dardanelles, and you have an opportunity to experience the Mykonos Sea Party. This is going to go into Istanbul. You're going to go to Rhodes into Santorini, and then back into Athens as well. In terms of Northern Europe, we have a really great deployment in Northern Europe. If you're looking for Northern Europe, take a look at these itineraries. You've got the Diadema that's doing the fjords, Babylosa, who is doing Iceland, North Cape, and also what else is she? Oh, she's also doing Greenland. So we'll take a look at a couple of these itineraries. This one on the Diadema, 8 days to discover kind of the in-depth spirit of the northern fjords. This is what her itinerary looks like. It's round trip out of Kiel. You could also do it out of Copenhagen as well. Really great opportunities to see the fjords. Favolosa, Iceland, North Cape, Greenland as well. Here's one of the Iceland itineraries. This particular one is going round trip out of Hamburg. You have, oh golly, how many stops in Iceland? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you also go to Kirkwall in the UK. This is the North Cape, and on this one, again, you're going out of Hamburg. You have several different opportunities to visit lesser known ports in Norway, and you have an opportunity to do some of the sea destinations as well. Greenland and Iceland, take a look at this. It does have 1, 2, 3 ports in Greenland, or you've got the passage of Prince Christian Sound going into Greenland. The Far East, this is something that we do. We currently are not going into China, but we do have the Costa Serena, who is out of Asia. We just opened up a couple of voyages for the North American market for 2025. On the Serena, we've got some marketing assets that are currently in production. As soon as we have all of those marketing assets available, we will send that out to you so that you can take a look at the full deployment. Now, she is a little bit different. She's being refurbished this year in 2025. She has 3,000 passengers on board, again, very heavy in balconies and in suites. Some of the itineraries that she's going to be doing, Hong Kong and Tokyo, you've got options anywhere from 7, 14, and 28 nights available. And as I said, we just deployed a couple more of these voyages. And so you will have some additional opportunity to sell Asia as well. Dubai and the UAE, you guys all know that this is emerging. It's not the core of what you sell for Costa. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on Dubai and the UAE. But I just wanted to give you an idea. What are some of the things that you can do when you're sailing these Emirate voyages that are a little bit different with Costa? Again, I'm not going to go into what's the same, but what's different. And for us, we've got some of these sea destinations like in Abu Dhabi Bay. You have an opportunity to have this Emirates style luxurious party out on deck, but you're looking at the skyline of Abu Dhabi during the party. So it's a unique vantage point, taking advantage of the fact that we are looking at this from the vantage point of the ocean. Also in the Oman Gulf, we turn the deck into an oasis in the desert out on the deck, and we have the 1001 Nights party. So you have this truly immersive Arabian atmosphere, and you have that on deck available for all of the passengers to participate in. We do have a deployment to the Caribbean. Again, this is not going to be for your first time passenger going to the Caribbean. This is going to be for your passengers who are looking to go a little bit further into the Caribbean, or for those passengers who are looking for a little bit different experience. We depart out of two different ports, either out of Guadeloupe, Martinique, or out of La Romana in the Dominican Republic. That those voyages that are out of Martinique, the first language on those is French. You do have a lot of you've got some coming over from France. You've got some charters that are supporting that. And so you're going to find that the number one language, the primary language on board, is going to be French, but you also have Italian spoken, and you also always have English spoken as well. Same with La Romana. If that voyage is going out of La Romana, it is going to over index in Spanish. And so, therefore, that language is going to kind of float up to the top. Those are some of the things that you want to think about. Again, we've got some really unique opportunities. For instance, down in Antigua Bay, you can have a mojito while you enjoy the green flash whenever you're looking at the sunset from the vantage point of the deck. In Guadeloupe, you also have a white moon party. And so late into the evening, we have this really amazing party out on deck that really kind of brings in the energy of the moon. Again, we're talking about being immersed in the destination that you're sailing in. South America, this is a really great deployment for you guys. If you haven't looked at South America, this is definitely something that I recommend that you take a look at with Costa, because we do have 3 ships that are in South America. So it is a fairly large deployment for us. And actually, the Americas is kind of headquartered out of Brazil. So definitely take a look at those. Those are unique, really great voyages. You've got our general manager, who is the president of CLIA Brazil, and very active in that Brazilian market down there. In terms of fare types, when you guys go into Costa Extra, you may see either the My Cruise, or you could see a fare type called Top My Cruise. Those are some exclusive rates that we've given some of the key partners that are in our market. So a lot of you, if you're part of those like cruise planners or some of the other key accounts, you may see those Top My Cruise rates. And basically what those are is it's a 15% discount off the public level fare. And again, our goal here is really to drive customers to you. We want to make sure that we are giving you every opportunity to really kind of beat us. And what we want is, when your customer goes on your website, we do want them to see that you're going to be getting a better fare with a travel advisor, better amenities with a travel advisor than they're going to get by booking direct. You may have received an email today about our updated cancellation policies. And one of the things that we did make sure is, whenever we sent out this communication, even at the guest level, we did refer them back to the travel advisor, which we will always do. We will always send a notification back to the travel advisor. And basically, what we did is we have changed that now the deposit is $250 per person, and it is due 60 days prior to departure. So that's with most of the things that you guys are going to sell. Costa Serena, which is in Asia, and the World Cruise is going to have different cancellation and deposit options. But for the most part, what you guys are going to be selling is your deposit is going to be $250 per person. We did that because it's in line with Carnival and it's going to be easy for you to remember. I wanted to kind of do away with having percentage deposits. I want you to be comfortable and confident selling the product, that you know exactly what that deposit's going to be and that it's going to be easy, that it's not going to be some kind of tiered thing that you've got to figure out. So we did away with that. And this is in market now. So if you make a booking right now, your deposit is going to be $250 per person, final payment due 60 days prior to departure. And this is your updated cancellation schedule. Some of the offers that we have in market right now is we have the Valentine's Day sale. Now, something that you're going to find is a little different since I've come on board. We're typically going to have 2 sales running. None of them are going to be short sales. The reason is because, quite honestly, it takes too long to get any traction in the North American market. So what we don't want to do is have a bunch of short sales. Our sister brand Princess, she'll have a very short Valentine's Day offer because she likes to own Valentine's Day, being the love boat. For us, our Valentine's Day offer is going to run for a month. It's in market now and it lasts through Valentine's Day. The trades are Mediterranean through May of 2025. So this is a tactical sale. This is for close-in voyages, and this is on the non-refundable fare. So when you see this listed in Costa Extra or on your booking portal, it'll say the pinned, P-I-N-D fare. That's the fare code that we're going to be using for tactical sales. For the strategic sales, the longer sales, you're going to see the My Cruise or the Top My Cruise, and you're going to see My All Inc. or Top My All. And those fare types are going to be the strategic sale that have the standard cancellation penalties. And for this one, it's $200 in OBC per cabin, up to $200 in OBC per cabin. This starts tomorrow and it lasts, this is pretty much our wave sale. It lasts through the middle of March. So what we want to do is we want to bring you these offers that give you an opportunity to share them with your customers. We know that you're not going to be booking us every day, and so we want to give you these longer option windows and these longer sales so that you have an opportunity to sell it, understand it, things of that nature. Also, take a look at what your commission with Costa is. We've got very, very lucrative commission with most of our key partners. So look at your intranet, take a wide look across your intranet at what your commission levels are with the various cruise lines. And I think that you'll find that with Costa, our commission level is likely higher than a lot of our competitors. So how do you book a Costa cruise? The best way to book a Costa cruise is to register, and you should do this today because you'll start getting the marketing emails. Register on Costa Extra. That is our travel advisor portal. There is where you can go to book. You'll find marketing assets here. I would put up a little bit of a disclaimer here that this is under construction. So Costa Extra is something that we are currently working on. It is a key priority for us in 2025. So you will see some changes here. Currently, the academy that is in there doesn't have a whole lot of content, and the reason is because we are completely redoing the academy. So again, watch this space. There's going to be something coming very soon, and I will make sure that there is some sort of incentive for you to go in there and take the academy once the new academy is released. So please do go in and sign up on Costa Extra. This is also where you'll find the new travel advisor rates. This is actually from 2024. We launched these in Q4 of 2024. I just got the 2025 voyages. And so we're in the process of putting together a flyer for 2025. And this is where you'll be able to find those as you'll go into Costa Extra. This is a QR code that will take you to the 2024-2025 brochure. At CLIA Cruise 360, we are producing brand new brochures for that. So make sure you do come and visit us in our booth. We'll have the brand new printed brochures. But for today, there is a 24-25 brochure that you can get digitally. You can also get them from your sales team, from your BDM. If you need a couple of hard copies of it, just reach out to your BDM and let her know. Here is also the QR code for Costa Extra, which is our TA portal. If you have questions, concerns, if you need help, you email this Costa Sales at us.costa.it. They can also direct you to who your BDM is as well. So if you're looking to connect with your BDM, then reach out to this Costa Sales inbox and they can get you connected with your BDM. Also, I will say that registration on Costa Extra has been a problem in the past. If you have experienced difficulty getting registered with Costa Extra, we now have a dedicated resource for that. So we do have one person from an IT perspective who is dedicated to help you solve that. The turnaround time on that should be much, much quicker now that we've got somebody dedicated to it. So just email that Costa Sales at us.costa.it and they will get you connected with Gino, who is our IT guru, and he will get you set up on Costa Extra if you need some assistance. So, kind of to wrap it all up, what is Costa? Costa is kind of the best of Italy. Being able to experience Italy, a lot of different spaces in Italy, having that onboard authentic Italian experience, and being able to see these various different destinations from the vantage point of the ocean as well. And so I will wrap it up with this quick video because I think it does a really good job of kind of giving you an idea of who we are as a brand. Je ne sais pas. Costa, live your wonder. And so that is one of the sea destination experiences that we have in France as well. So thank you for your time. I will be getting all of your questions and anything that you have. If I can relate it to who your BDM, for sure the sales team will be reaching back out to you to answer your questions. If I can figure out where you're located and what agency you are connected to, then I will make sure that your BDM reaches out to you specifically. So again, thank you very much. Grazie mille. And please do consider us whenever you're looking at the Mediterranean for 2025. And we are deployed for 2026 as well. Thank you so much. You guys have an amazing day.
Thank you, LaDonna. Everyone have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.